Hi, I'm Vonda LaFever. Thanks for joining me for this design demo by Pioneer Imports and Wholesale. Our project today is going to be using the incredible value orchids from Pioneer. We're going to be working on a project that's a wrist corsage, wristlet, which is from Fitz Designs, also the gleaming leaves, which are beautiful and nice enhancement to our corsage, and of course the incredible value orchid. We're going to start with securing our designer disc onto the sophisticated lady with the chenille stem in the silver. The silver chenille is great to use because it really doesn't show up internally when we put this together. So we twist that on good, and then we're just going to snip that off low. And then we're going to next use one of our orchid sprays. The biggest blossom here is I know that I want to use these three blossoms in my corsage, but I want to use something at the very base of this to cover my designer disc and make a nice finish at the back. So if we were doing this in fresh, this would be called detaching, but we're just cutting apart this flower and using these wonderful petals at the very base of our corsage. So as you can see here, I'm going to have four nice size petals that I want to use at the base. Next, I'm just going to take that glue gun and glue those petals exactly where we want them. As you can see, we can just put those in place. We can work fast and get this done quickly, and that makes a nice base for us to start putting our flowers together. You could also use different types of foliage for this same type of thing. Now our next design element we're going to use are the gleaming leaves, and as you can see, I have taken the base of this, the stem, and curled that around my wire cutters or my jewelry cutter because this gives me more of a gluing surface to be able to glue to, so it's going to stay in place much better. We can actually just put some glue in here because we know we're going to glue over the top of that. So if we put the glue in there, let it set for just half a second, because then it starts to get a little bit tacky, is what we want, and then we can put this in place and it'll stay much better. And again, you can see we're making just a nice little nest at the base for us to be able to use these beautiful orchids and make that as the design element. Oh, I have one more here. Need to be sure and get our stem where it needs to be. Alright, and we're going to use a little bit of ribbon. While my glue is still tacky, I'm going to just go ahead and take this ribbon, make a miniature bow. This is going to go right in the center. Tie this together. You could either use a wire or you can just tie it, whichever is easier for you. Okay, and this is still tacky, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that right in the middle. It helps hold everything in place. Well, sometimes you can take your ribbon and bring it all the way around the bottom. This is another technique that works fantastic to hold things together, and that is taking this ribbon and going all the way through your wristlet, bringing it up through, and tying it in place. This, if you want it extra secure, you can do it this way as well. You can see that tightens things up a little bit. But then we want to make sure that we fluff everything back out. So we have a nice corsage, and then we're going to trim up our ribbon, give it an angled cut. Right? And now we get to add our beautiful orchids. Like I said, you need to check on the website for Pioneer and see the fantastic price. I think you'll be shocked at what a wonderful look this is and what a great value you're going to see on that. How beautiful that looks in there, and how simple and easy it is to make this design with those orchids. It takes all four of the orchids, so one stem is what we're using in here. The gleaming leaves, which you can see when you're up close, you'll be able to see those a little better, but we just nestled all three of those orchids with the gleaming leaves and that little bit of ribbon. And we have a beautiful wrist corsage ready to go. Now those orchids are also available in this dark purple, so you can see what a beautiful selection you can have with those orchids. Thanks for joining me for this design demo from Pioneer Wholesale.